Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in just a minute. I'm just going to see if anyone else joins me on Zoom. But before we get started, I'm just going to share the welcome screen. And then we will get started. Okay, so we're going to get started here. I'm just going to get that all situated. Make sure I'm pinned, not muted. Beautiful. Okay. I believe you all can see me. Okay, so maybe not. Actually, I'm going to sit here. That's how we're going to start. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah. This is Pilates Sculpt. Pilates Sculpt focuses on lengthening and toning your muscles. It's a really good time. Pilates also has a big mind aspect into it, so there'll be some chances to kind of calm our minds, focus in on the moment, check in with how we're doing both physically and mentally. What you'll need for this class is a mat. If you're at home, you don't have a mat, any soft surface, I just wouldn't recommend doing this on like hardwood, just make it more comfortable for you. 2 weights. If you don't have weights, you don't even need to use weights. You can just use your body weight. Or you can grab 2 water bottles. We'll be doing some bicep curls and some shoulder presses. So whatever you're comfortable with. And this is called a Pilates ring. And we'll be using this in our glutes and inner thigh section. If you don't have this at home, which if you're at home, I'm sure you don't, I don't have one of these at home. You can use like a bigger pillow. Anything soft, we're just gonna be pressing in on it. So anything you can press in on. At home, I use a pillow. So that's my recommendation. So if you are watching this on YouTube, the playlist I will be using is in the description. And if you're on Zoom, which I don't think there's anyone on Zoom. No, but just in case, let me actually share the playlist with y'all. Paste. So that is the Spotify playlist that I will be using throughout this class. So if you want to join me, I'm going to count us in to start listening to it. Make sure you have some water. Feel free to get water whenever you want during this class. If I don't cue you in, take a break, grab some. Water is always good. So we're going to start the playlist in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to start on our backs. I'm going to slowly lay down. You're going to place one hand on your stomach and one hand on your heart. If you feel comfortable, let your eyes close. And just take a deep breath here. Inhaling, filling up the entire expanse of your lungs. And exhaling, letting out all that old air. Just focus on you right now. Letting yourself melt into the mat underneath of you. Relaxing that space between your eyebrows. Relaxing your jaw. Letting your tongue relax so it falls away from the roof of your mouth. Letting the tips of your fingers relax. Your shoulders come away from your ears. The soles of your feet and the tips of your toes. Let it all just melt into the mat. This 45 minutes is about you. Whatever you want to take out of this. So I invite you all to set an intention for this class, a reason for being here, a reason for you participating today. I also like to invite you all to do a quick mental check. How you're feeling physically and how you're feeling mentally today. We'll do one at the end of class 2 to see if anything has changed or whatever has stayed the same. But know however you feel is completely valid and okay. I know myself I'm a bit sore today. I did Zumba for the first time yesterday. But that's a whole nother story. So let's take another deep breath, inhaling and exhaling. Letting your eyes come open, readjusting to the world around you. We're going to reach our arms up above our head, legs out long. We're going to take a big good morning stretch, stretching out all of our muscles. It's that first stretch when you wake up in the morning. You're just waking up all those muscles, rolling out your wrists and your ankles. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, you're going to roll up off the ground, taking note of this position here. There should be a C shape in your abdomen. You're pushing your lower back into the mat. You're going to push up. Let's come to the sitting position and bend over your legs. And then coming back up to the seated position, spine long. We're going to slowly, with control, roll back down. Once again, taking note of this position as we reach the back, curve, lower back into mat, and back down. This is called the Pilates roll-up. It's a warm-up move to help warm up your core. If you're having trouble getting up on your own, your legs are coming up, you can walk yourself up using your arms. This is one of my favorite Pilates moves. I just like the pace of it. I feel like it helps warm everything up. You get that nice hamstring stretch in. It's funny because in classic Pilates, so foundational Pilates, you don't actually have this up and over part of the Pilates roll-up. The Pilates roll-up only goes up to about here, and then you roll back down. There's not this up and over. I really like the stretching aspect of this, especially as a warm-up move. If you guys were in class, I'd ask you, we're gonna do 8 more here, 8. How do you guys feel about it? And 7. And 6. And we're gonna go into 5. And 4. And 3 more coming up and over and back down. And 2 up and over and back down. And 1 more coming up and over and coming back down with control. You're going to scoot down if your head has moved, so your head is on the mat. We're going to take our legs into Pilates stance. So that means you're going to lift your legs up. Knees are going to be over those hips. Lower back press into the mat. Shins are parallel to the mat. Lifting your head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat. Arms are going to be out straight. And with intention, you're going to pump them up and down. This is called the Pilates 100. This is just another move to warm up that core. I will say, today's a little challenging for me. I am very sore. I went to my
wonderful friend and fellow group fitness instructor's Zumba class on Sunday. And I am still sore 2 days later. Didn't realize how good of a, well, I knew how good of a workout Zumba would be, but I thought it was gonna be mostly cardio. And my muscles are sore in a good way, in that like I got stronger type of way. And it was so much fun. Maddie Walsh, Sunday at 1:30. It was so much fun. And she has a mentee right now that's learning to be a Zumba instructor also, who is also fantastic. If you want to challenge, we're going to lift our legs up and into a 45 degrees, and we're going to hold this for 8 and 7, 6 and 5. I'm right here with y'all. 4 and 3, 2 and 1 more. Knees into chest, head down. Rocking it out here, regaining your breath. And when you're ready, we're going to meet me into plank position. So we're going to come up. Again, taking water if you need. I'm going to show you the move before I get my sip of water. So first, we're just going to come up into plank position. So you're going to be in a straight line from the tip of your head to the soles of your feet. Your wrists are going to be underneath your shoulders. We're just going to stay here, getting used to this movement. If this is too much, come down onto your knees. We're not going to be sagging or lifting. You're still going to be in that straight line from your head to your knees. You're just going to hold it. Getting comfortable right here. And then slowly you're going to start rocking forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards. See how I'm bringing my chest slightly above my hands and back. Nice and slow. You're going to keep doing that forwards and backwards motion. You want to make sure that you keep your gaze. You're going to keep doing this as I talk. Keep your gaze at the edge of your mat to make sure you don't strain your neck. You guys are doing an amazing job. We're going to do 8 more here. 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pushing up into a downward dog. Walking out our hamstrings. Taking note of how we feel. I'm a bit tight today. We're going to go back into that plank position, and we're going to reach our arms out in front of us. We're going to reach our left and then our right arm. Try not to rock our hips back and forth too much. Staying steady. Keeping those wrists underneath of your shoulders. Keeping your core tight. And you completely do this move on your knees as well if it becomes too much in that full plank position. That's going to look like this. So again, you're straight. You're going to have your wrists underneath your shoulders. You're just going to lift. It's testing your balance as well. We're going to go in for 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back up and walking out our hamstrings once again. We're actually going to move into our side plank series next. So coming down, you're going to meet me into a side plank. So again, you can always do this either on your hand or on your knees, on your feet or on your knees, whichever way is for you today. So let's say we take this. Your wrist's going to be underneath your shoulders, taking this full out. We're just going to hold it here for a little bit. If you want to take it on your knees, other option, just like this. You need to put your hand on your, don't have your arm out that far. It should be still a straight line from shoulder to your wrist. You're just going to hold it here. A few things you can do with your feet if you take it the full way up. You can either stack them or you can alternate them, kind of like a tripod. You can also take this. I'm giving you lots of options here. Choose what you want. And if you are used to doing this, pick which one you usually do. Or pick something different for a challenge. Forearm, you're just going to have your elbow underneath your shoulder and lift up. I'm gonna do something a little bit different for the last 8 seconds when I start. We can go into a star plank if you know what that is. So you're just gonna lift your top leg into a star plank. It's a little difficult. If you can't do it, totally fine. But for those of you who want the challenge day, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna hold this for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, coming down and switching sides. So again, all of those options I threw at you on the right side, do whichever ones you want on the left. I personally prefer the forearm. I feel like my wrist gets tired after a while of doing planks. I also alternate between keeping my hand up and putting it on my wrist. I don't know why. I recommend taking your shoes and socks off. I should have said that at the beginning. It just makes things easier. And if you're ready, we're going to go into our star plank in 3, 2, and 1, 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, coming down and relaxing. We're going to go onto our backs now. We're going to move into our glute series. So make sure you have that ring on standby. We're not going to use it quite yet, but however you can reach it. Or a pillow if you're at home, blanket, giant sweatshirt, anything soft and malleable you can fold and put between your legs. So you're going to want the tips of your middle finger to touch the heel of your toes. And you're going to push up through your heels into a bridge position, squeezing that core tight, squeezing your glutes to the top, coming down, tapping your glutes on the mat and bringing them back up. So down, squeeze, down, squeeze. I'm going to turn up the music a bit. Some One Direction in here. We are right on track with time. I was teaching my Saturday class and I look up and I'm like so behind. And I'm usually really good at timing. We didn't have to speed through something. I just had to reshuffle my usual schedule of class, which is totally fine, but very interesting. We're back on schedule now. So we're gonna go 4, 8, and 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna pulse up at the top. So at that level, you're just gonna do mini bridges. Four, 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. On this last one, we are staying up. We are reaching for that ring. I kind of need to come down to put it in. So if you have a ring, or if you ever see one and you go to class, you want to know how to use it. There's these two grippy things. I don't really know what they're called on the side. They like have little notches. You're going to notch your knees in between those. And you're going to squeeze. This uses a lot of inner thigh strength. And my inner thighs are kind of killing me from Zumba the other day. So I'm going to be in pain with you. But the getting stronger kind. If this is too much, don't use the ring. Don't use the pillow. Just do normal bridges. That is totally fine. But if you want a challenge, you're up for it. Put it right in between, squeeze, normal bridge position, lifting up. We're going to do normal bridges. Just we're squeezing in the entire time. So our knees are still in line with our hips. Coming down and up, squeezing our glutes at the top still, having that core engaged. This takes a lot of mental strength too. My Siri thinks I'm talking to it. Sorry, I'm trying to get my music back up. And there we go. Right in the middle of the chain smokers. We're gonna go 4 and 8, 7, 6, right here with ya, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're staying up at the top. We're gonna take our legs out and in and out And keeping our glutes squeezed, keeping our hips raised. In and out. In and out. Y'all are amazing. And we're gonna do this for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4. I'm right here with you. 3, 2, and 1. Coming out, releasing the ring, pushing that off to the side. Y'all did an amazing job with that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna walk our legs away from us. And we're gonna lift up into that bridge position. Lifting up just with our legs a little further away from us. This is going to attack your hamstrings. Come down and up and down and up. It's that muscle that leads right up to your butt. But this is going to work a little bit more. And 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Coming down. We're gonna go onto our sides. Whew, did that hurt my thighs? But in a good way. You're gonna come onto your side. You're gonna support your head with either your hand or you can lay down. Totally fine, either way. Personal preference. Your hips are gonna be facing me. Your legs are gonna, so they're right out straight for you right now. Scoot them coming off the front corner of your mat. If you're having a mat, if not, kind of like a 45-degree angle. Flex that top foot. We're gonna lift up and down and up and down. Core is engaged, hips facing me. I like to take this hand, place it in front of me for balance. That's a totally up to you decision. I love this song. If you're listening to the playlist, this song is a New Girl, which I think I mentioned before in these virtual classes if you're keeping up to date. But it's on my favorite episode in season, it has to be season 2. Season 2. Not going to spoil anything, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I do recommend everyone watch New Girl. It is such a good show. It is so funny. And it's really quick. It's like 20-some minute episodes. And 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 coming down. We're going to take that top leg, we're going to swing it out in front of us. So you can either hold it like this, or you can grab your ankle and place it in front of you like this. I'm going to do this today. You can either hold on to it, or you can just leave it there, put your hand here. I like to kind of hold on to my ankle when I do this. You're gonna take that bottom foot, you're gonna have toes down, heels up. You're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, lowering. We're gonna switch sides here. So again, same positioning on this side, supporting your head. Legs slightly out in front of you, flex that top foot, lifting and lowering. It's really sunny out today. but it is so cold, and it was so nice last week in terms of weather. It's kind of a little jarring, but I'm really glad the sun is still out. This is just such a good song. I think something really interesting is I've been into reading more, which I think I mentioned a few weeks ago, but I haven't updated y'all. So I had my first book club meeting recently, which went so very well. But now we got so into the whole reading thing that now we're doing 2 books per month. So I'm reading The Cruel Prince 1 and 2 for this month. I just bought it because I just finished the second book in a different series that I'm just reading. But I've heard good things about this series. We're gonna do 8 more. I've heard really good things about The Cruel Prince, so I'm really excited. It's kind of that genre I like too. So very excited. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 lowering. Place that leg in front of you. I'm gonna do this one on, you can either do this or the other way. Grab the ankle, pull in front. That's what I'm gonna do today. Putting your toes down, heels up, lifting and lowering. But we just read For Blood and Ash. That was our book for last month, which was super, super good. It wasn't written very well, but in my opinion, but it was really entertaining. So that's the book I just finished yesterday, the second book in the series, which I don't remember the name of the second book, which is so interesting because it was like 600 or 700 pages that I spent my time on. I don't even know the name of the book, but it was really good. It ended on a cliffhanger, and the third book in the series, third and final, doesn't come out till April 20th, but I pre-ordered it. We're gonna do 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 coming down. We're gonna roll into our back before moving into our abs for a quick glute stretch. Put your right ankle on top of your left knee. Grab your hands behind that left knee, pulling in. So this is about the halfway point in class. After this, we're going to move into our abs series, and then from our abs, go into our arm and back. And switch sides, place your left ankle on top of your right knee, is behind your right knee, and then we move into the cool down, and then you guys are done. Just so you guys know a bit of the layout of this class. And releasing. So you're gonna go back into that Pilates stance that we did in the beginning of class. So you're gonna have your knees over your hips, shins are gonna be parallel to the mat, lower back pressed in, head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. We're gonna pull in our right leg to us, extending that left leg out, parallel to the mat, kind of straight out for you. You don't wanna go lower than that, just straight out from your body, pulling in, getting that nice hip stretch here, and switching, pulling that left, extending that right. So we're just gonna go between those 2 motions. If you notice that this is too much for you today and your lower back is coming up off the mat, take everything a bit higher. You can go up here. You can go any variation between here and lower. It is totally fine. If you can't get your leg totally straight, also slight bend, completely fine. We are here getting stronger together. I'm meeting y'all where you are. Wherever you're at today is amazing. Some Dolly Parton just came on if you're listening to the Spotify playlist. Dolly Parton, I love her. We're gonna go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. So after this last one, we're gonna stay lifted if you can. We're just gonna straighten our leg, and we're gonna do the same motion. Again, if you need a slight bend, totally fine. If you need to keep everything up a bit more because you notice your lower back is coming off the mat, totally fine, go up here. What is important in this move is that your lower back is on the mat, your head, neck, and shoulders are lifted up off the mat, and that your legs are moving in straight lines, kind of like on railroad tracks, and that they're not swaying out to the side. You can kind of pull in here to get a bit of a stretch. And we're gonna go for 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3. 2 more, I'm right here with y'all. And 1 more, until we bring our knees and chest head down. Rocking it out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move into our upper abs. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our legs into a butterfly position. So you're gonna have heels together, lower back gonna be pressed down into the mat, hips are gonna be open. This is a butterfly crunch. You're gonna lift your head, neck, and shoulders up, and you're gonna reach between your legs. You're gonna keep your gaze neutral, which means you're not straining your neck to look down or straining your neck to look up. Just a nice neutral gaze. And 8 more here, 8, 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Coming down, we're gonna bring our knees together, kind of like we're about to do a bridge. You're gonna have your lower back once again pressed into the mat, as it always should be, as to not injure yourself. Lifting your head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat. You're gonna have your arms kind of like we did in the Pilates 100, but you're going to lift and shift your right hand to your right ankle, left hand to left ankle. Kind of doing a side crunch as you do this. I know this, guys, is hard, but I'm right here with you. It hurts for me too. We're getting stronger together. Find your strength as you lift and reach towards your ankles. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your head down. Taking a calming breath, refocusing in. We're gonna have one more move in this ab series before moving into our arms and back. So what you're gonna do, make sure your head is on the mat. I seem to have scooted a bit up. You're gonna take, if you would like some help keeping your lower back into the mat, take your hands in the diamond shape, scoot that underneath of your tailbone. Legs are gonna be lifted up towards the ceiling. We're gonna go into alternating single leg lifts. Take your right leg, dip it down, up, left leg down, and up, lower back, press into that mat. Legs straight if possible. Also if possible, coming down to right, parallel to the ground. If you can't, go down this way. You just like bend your leg, totally fine. This is your workout. Do what your body needs. You know your body best. So my roommate started watching Scandal this week and keeps telling me that I should watch it. And I've heard really great things. Plus I love Shonda Rhimes, the creator. She created Grey's Anatomy, which I'm obsessed with. So I really want to start it, but it's on Hulu. And I have Hulu because I got the student Spotify premium with Hulu thing, which is like $4 or $5 a month. But it has commercials, like the Hulu version, it has commercials. And I really hate watching the commercials. It's like every literal like 3 minutes. It's like a 2-minute commercial. And I do not want to pay for the premium version. So I may try to steal my roommate's version. And our whole family uses. Because I really want to watch that, and I want to watch, I have to catch up on The Bachelor. Actually, I watched last night's episode, but I mean, I never watched Tayshia's, and she is hosting, so I want to watch that. We're going to do 8 more. 8, I got caught up in talking. 7, 6, and 5, 4, and 3. Well, ending perfectly with the song, and 2, and last one. Bring our knees into our chest. Taking a deep breath here as we move into our arm and back section. So what you're going to do is we're going to come up. You're going to grab those 2 weights, water bottles. They should be small weights, so I would recommend between 2 to 5 pounds. But you do what feels right for your body. You're going to face me and have your legs crossed. Or you can also do these standing up. It's easier for me to be in frame if I'm sitting, and I like sitting. You're going to grab your weights. You're going to have a loose but secure grip on your weights. You're going to have your arms out, elbows are tucked into your rib cage, shoulders are proud, and you're going to go do a bicep curl. So lifting up and lower, up and lower. Shoulder blades together, and 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4. Make sure your core is engaged on 3, 2. On this last, we're going to transition to shoulder lifts, going up and down, up and down. Shoulders should be away from your ears. Your elbows should be tucked in tight. They're not flared out. Everything is in line. Another modification that you guys could take if this is becoming too much, just do 1 at a time. Just make sure you do the same reps on the right side as you do the left to stay even. You can just even it out here. Just alternate. If doing both at the same time is just too much. We're going to go for 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Coming down, we're going to take 1 weight this time. You're going to take it in both hands. Reaching your elbows are going to be tucked into your ears, kind of like you're trying not to hear. You're going to bend your elbows down and up, going into tricep extensions. Doing these with intention. And 8, 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Setting that weight. We're now going to grab no weights. We're going to put both weights up to the side. We're going to go into a little bit of upper back. You can do these with weights. I just prefer to do them without. That is always, if you want to push yourself, grab the weights. You're going to have your arms out in goalpost position. And you're going to squeeze your upper shoulder blades together and then back forward. Kind of like there's something in between your shoulder blade that you're trying to crush. You're cracking a nut. I don't know, something. It's kind of like your elbows are going over a little tiny hill as you pull back and back.
and 4, 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, y'all got it, and 4, and 3. After this, we're moving on to the cool down, and 2, and 1, coming down, rolling out our shoulders, rolling them back, and then reversing forward. We're gonna start our cool down with some arm stretches. You're gonna take that left arm across your body, pulling back with your right, pushing that right left shoulder down away from your ear. And switching sides, pulling that right arm across, pulling that right shoulder down away from you, pulling back with your left. And switching, we're gonna put that right arm up and in between your shoulder blades, pulling with that right shoulder back, right elbow back. And switching sides. And pulling that left elbow back with your right hand. And coming down, making sure that your mat is clear so that you have space. You're gonna extend your legs back into that butterfly position that we did the crunches in. You're gonna have your back flat. I like to notch my elbows into my shoulders, grab onto my ankles, and push, stretching out your inner thighs and your hips. And holding that right there. I'm doing an extra long cool down. Usually I do about a 5 to 7 minute one. This is a 10-minute cool down. Just because I feel like it's early in the week. We're right in midterm season. Our bodies need some gentleness. We need to take care of them. So some nice stretching is going to be good, especially if you've been sitting at a desk all day doing work. I'm just going to take some extra care stretching out our muscles today. And coming up, we're going to go into a hip stretch. You're going to take your right knee. You're going to have your elbow underneath of your knee. Take your hands right beside. You're going to stretch your left leg back out and then bend, touching your knee to the mat. You're going to lift up and forward, sinking your hips in, pushing this forward. Trying to keep that knee over top of that ankle. Hands up. You can even get a little back bend here, stretching out your hip right on this left side. If balanced a little bit hard, you can always hold onto your hips, that helps. Or come down even and just pull and move forward into more of a bit of a runner's lunge. And switching sides, coming down. Taking that right leg, left leg back and lunge. Making sure that knee is above that ankle. Sending your arms up and into a slight back bend. Pushing your hips forward, sinking in, sending your breath to those muscles that we're stretching. Coming up, you're gonna reach that left leg behind you. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna stretch out our ankles. You're gonna lift up your left knee, leaning back, stretching out that left ankle. Be stretching right here. Just carefully and slowly. And coming back, lifting up that right knee. And coming back, we're going to stretch out the soles of our feet. So you're going to lift up, you're going to tuck your toes underneath of you and sit right back down. Putting that weight on your toes, stretching out this part of your foot. A lot of times we don't know this is tight, but it's tight for most people. And this can become a bit painful. If you need for a quick break, come up and come right back into it. Meet me here. This is one of my favorite stretches. I feel like I never stretch out my feet enough. First time I did this was in a yoga class, and we sat here for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And coming out, you're going to place your hands on the mat. You're going to tip up into downward dog, walking out our legs. Maybe sending both legs back this time. And coming down onto all fours. We're going to go into some cat-cows before moving into the end of class. So as you inhale, you're going to look up, curving your back. And as you exhale, expelling that air in around your back into a cat position. And with your breathing, just alternate between the two. Stretching out your back. Rounding and arching. Let's take another breath in and out. And when you're ready, meeting me in the position we started, laying down, feet on the mat. One hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, letting your eyes fall closed if you feel comfortable. Taking a deep inhale here. And exhale. Finding peace in this moment. Recall that intention that I asked you to set at the beginning of class. That reason that you came. Your reason for participating. Take note of how you feel in this moment. How you feel both physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even spiritually. And know that however you feel is completely okay. Compare how you felt now compared to the beginning of class. Is it the same? Is it different? If it's different, what is different about it? If it's the same, what is the same? Take another deep breath, inhaling. Holding that breath up at the top. And exhaling. I like to take a moment of gratitude at the end of every class. Thank ourselves for taking those 45 minutes for us. For thanking our bodies for all that they were able to accomplish during this workout. And I would like to thank all of you personally for joining me here and getting stronger together. I'm now going to give you a little bit of time for silence, for peace. It's so rare to find in this world. When you're ready, let your eyes be open. Reacquaint yourself with the world around you. Meet me up in a seated position for our final breath as a class. We're going to inhale our arms up, Palms together, exhale as we bring our hands to heart center. Thank you guys all for joining me today for Pilates Sculpt. My name is Sarah. I teach every Tuesday here virtually and every Saturdays in the mat courts at 1:30 p.m. This is Pilates Sculpt. Again, it's 45 minutes long. Just thank you guys so much for joining me today for this adventure. I hope you guys have a wonderful and joyful rest of your weeks and days.